All right, so you're doing business in Morocco, or maybe you're just thinking about it. There's this thing called the General Tax Code that you absolutely cannot ignore. I know, it sounds super complex, right? But what if I told you it's actually more like a financial roadmap? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you the keys to read that map and help your business really take off. Let's be honest, when you hear General Tax Code, what pops into your head? Probably some huge, dusty book filled with rules that are impossible to understand. Yeah, you're definitely not alone in thinking that. But for the next few minutes, let's try to shift that perspective. Forget the mystery book. Think of it as a map. And what we're doing here, this is your key to reading it.
Okay, so what is this rulebook really? At its core, you can think of the tax code as the financial operating system for the whole country. Seriously, it's the set of rules making sure everything is fair, funding the public services we all use every day, and, creating a level playing field so every business has a fair shot.
The official name you'll see everywhere is the Code Général des Impôts, or just CGI for short. This is the single source of truth for everything tax-related in Morocco. It's the one place that spells out exactly who pays tax, what they're paying tax on, and how the whole thing actually works. No guesswork needed.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. The first big question the code answers is a simple one: who actually has to pay tax? Now you might think, well, that sounds complicated with all the different companies and jobs out there, but the system actually boils it all down into just two main groups of taxpayers. Super straightforward. And this is where it gets really elegant. The entire system is split into just two core groups. On one side, you've got personnes morales. That's a fancy term for legal entities, so think of your classic corporations and big partnerships. Then, on the other side, you have personnes physiques, and that's people, individuals. This covers pretty much everyone else. Employees getting a salary, freelancers hustling for clients, even landlords earning rental income. Okay, so we figured out who pays. The next logical question is, what exactly are they paying? The whole Moroccan tax system is really built on three foundational pillars. And here's the cool part. If you can just get your head around these three main taxes, you're honestly most of the way to understanding the entire system. Pillar number one is the Impôt sur les sociétés, or IS. That's just corporate tax. And here's a super important point to lock in. This tax is on a company's profits, not its total revenue. Big difference. This is the main tax that most corporations in Morocco are dealing with. Pillar number two is the Impôt sur le revenu, or IR. This is the flip side, the income tax for individuals. Remember those personnes physiques we just talked about? This is for them. And man, this tax is broad. It covers your salary, a freelancer's earnings, professional profits, even the money you make from renting out a property. It's pretty comprehensive. And our third and final pillar is the taxe sur la valeur ajoutée, or TVA. You almost certainly know this one as VAT, or value-added tax. This is the tax that shows how we all take part in the system pretty much every single day. It's a consumption tax that's baked into the final price of most things you buy. Businesses are kind of like tax collectors for the government here. They add it to their prices, collect it from you, and then pass it along to the authorities. So the code isn't just about collecting money. It's way smarter than that. It's also designed to shape how the economy works, to encourage certain behaviors. You can think of it as having a carrot and a stick. The carrot is the incentives it offers, and the stick, well, that's the obligations that everyone has to follow. Let's talk about the carrot first. These are the goodies. The government uses tax breaks and incentives to steer people toward activities that are good for the country's growth. And a perfect example of this? How the code goes out of its way to encourage investment in fresh, innovative new companies. Check out this number, 5 million dirhams. What does it mean? Well, the tax code says that if your company invests in a young, innovative company, basically a startup making less than 5 million a year, you get a tax reduction for doing so. How cool is that? It's proof that this code isn't just a stuffy old rulebook. It's actively trying to fuel new business. Okay, so what about the stick? Now, don't think of this as punishment. It's really just about your core responsibilities, the non-negotiable stuff you have to do when you're in business. These are the essential duties that make the whole system work smoothly and fairly for everybody. So what does this actually mean for you day to day? The code breaks it down into 4 fundamental obligations. Number 1, declare your existence. You've got 30 days from when you start your business to make it official. Get on the map. Number 2, keep your records for 10 years. All your books, invoices, everything, hang on to them for a decade. Number 3, issue proper invoices. Every time you sell something or provide a service, you need to create an invoice. It's all about being transparent.
And finally, number 4, file and pay online. Everything's digital now, so all your tax declarations and payments happen electronically, which honestly makes things way easier for everyone.
So there you have it. From the big pillars to the daily duties, you can see there's a real logic to it all. It's a complete system, and it's built to be predictable and fair. And if there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. Just understanding the framework is the single most important step you can take to navigate it successfully.
And that's our quick tour of the Moroccan tax code. We turned that mystery into a map, we figured out who the main players are, we covered the 3 big taxes, and we looked at both the rewards and the responsibilities. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know the basics, which part of this code is going to have the biggest impact on you and your journey?